How to make a Game Boy game.
I've got no idea how, but let's give it a shot.
Step 1. Locate the appropriate program.
Ha! I found it!
Step 2. Get inspired by different locations. Step 3. Write a whole concept for the game.
So the game will be largely inspired by my sister and her life, since she's turning 30 and I'm giving the game to her as a birthday present. The game will be called The Lost Journal, where she goes around as the main character, collecting lost pieces of a journal. And at the end of it, like any video game, you have to fight a final boss. And that final boss will be me.
Step 4. Map out the whole game, because I'll be using all the places I went to in the game. For this last and final piece of inspiration, I'll have to show you at home.
That's right, I'm gonna get inspired off Facebook. More specifically, my sister's Facebook page.
You see, I want all the pages of the journal she finds in the game to be attached to some kind of cherished memory of hers, creating kind of a walk down memory lane. So I spent the next 3 hours going through Facebook posts, videos, and pictures, and came up with this list of memories, which I'll be explaining as we go along. But before that,
I really gotta figure out how this program works.
so I spent the next 4 days trying to learn how to use the program and code a Game Boy game.
I think I'm ready. Let's start with designing the maps.
There will be a total of 15 maps that I'll be designing over the next couple days,
Starting with my sister's room.
which is also where she begins the game and gets triggered. No wait, it's where she triggers the main storyline quest of finding a lost journal pages.
The second map I made is one of the favorite maps I made throughout the whole game.
Not because it's a living room with my mom and dad in it, but because it triggers a non-skippable quest for her to do chores at home.
I mean, what brother would I be if I didn't remind my little sister how many chores we had to do as a kid? Am I right?
Feeling more than pleased with myself, I also turned the list of quests I wrote down before into 2 different maps, ending day 1 with 4 out of 15 maps done. On day 2, I got to work on a little town, which I called Linko Village.
Now before you run around and call me racist for giving the village a way too Chinese name, me and my sister actually grew up in Taiwan, and Linko was a place we spent a lot of our childhood in. Got you there, didn't I?
Linko Village consists of our childhood home, a town hall, a restaurant, a school, and paths leading to a park, forest, lake, and a cave.
It's also the central hub for all the maps because Linko shaped a lot of our childhood and early years.
In addition to Linko Village, I built the classroom maps of the school we went to as kids.
The school is called Morstan Christian Academy, and since my sister loved dogs, I thought I'd remind her of how she brought a puppy home from school one day in 7th grade and got scolded by my parents.
And as a good brother, of course I made that part of the main storyline quest. I was also able to make a map of the restaurant my parents owned, where my sister of course had to help out with the preparations for the food.
Now before you think I only built in a bunch of quests just to remind my sister of stuff that wasn't fun, as an older brother, come on, it is kind of my job. It is her birthday, so yes, I will throw in some positive memories too.
But before we move on to day 3, that makes 4 maps for day 2, bringing us to 8 out of 15 maps done. As promised, on day 3, I started with a place called Sun Moon Lake.
And yes, as you guessed, it is an actual place in Taiwan where we used to go as a family on vacation.
But the twist is, we used to own 4 turtles as kids, and they loved to eat snails. And so her job on this map was to collect snails for the turtles.
Fun times.
I also made an extra map of a house just for the heck of it. Moving on, I made the town hall map.
Quite honestly, one of my favorite maps too, because
She meets her husband on this map and gets married to the love of her life.
aren't they just cute together?
And that concludes day 3 of making maps. 11 out of 15 done.
4 maps left to design and it's day 4. Let's do this!
Starting with a map of a cave.
I know what you're thinking. When I showed the locations at the beginning, there was no cave. And you'd be right, but I really just wanted to make a cave, so I did.
I put my sister's first puppy, Cooper, in this cave and made her run around collecting chicken nuggets for him, which I'm sure he would have loved.
I mean, who doesn't love chicken nuggets? Except maybe my sister after this, but that's a whole different story.
I then designed 2 maps of forests where my sister will find her second pup, Gunner,
Now Gunner's the kind of dog that would just play all day long without eating anything, if he was allowed to.
which is exactly what I let him do in the game. Last but not least, we have the map of a park.
Arguably, the most important map.
Because my sister meets the final boss, me. But more importantly, she gets to see her daughter, my little niece.
I mean, how can you not love her? Look at that face.
And that's 15 out of 15 maps done. Let's move on to
Characters.
I spent a few days designing a bunch of characters ranging from her childhood friend to the puppy she has. The only prerequisite that I had was that they had some kind of relationship with my sister. Alright, time to do some programming.
If this variable becomes 1, then this happens. Honestly, I never thought my basic understanding of programming I learned in high school was gonna come in handy someday. Basically, to give you guys the gist of it, I had to use a bunch of math formulas and variables to check if my sister does this, then this action happens. But if she doesn't, something else happens. And that pretty much over and over and over and over. But I won't bore you with the details.
It all was going really well, and I was super excited about getting closer and closer to being done, when on the 5th day, something totally unexpected happened.
No!
I had accidentally overwrote the game file with another file I had, and basically deleted all the work I did over the last 5 days. Yeah, I was not thrilled.
Second time's a charm, I guess.
So I buckled down, put that behind me, and started from the beginning again.
And done!
Over the last 2 weeks, I pretty much programmed everything from scratch again. I added in dialogue, put in a few more scenes and connected them, added in characters and items, designed the title screen, and added in some minor details like the different routes, adding up to be her birthday, or posters of events she went to in the past. I even added in dialogue of inside jokes she has with some of those exact people, and tested out the game a few times.
And now it's finally time. I'm actually super nervous. I hope it works.
I rendered the game, plugged in my Gameboy flasher, put in my cartridge, and...
Ah, there it is! I probably need this too! Let's go! It worked, it worked, it worked, it worked, it worked! Whew, I was so nervous there that it wouldn't work. Whew.
After weeks and weeks of programming, designing, and testing, it finally all came together.
Now here's the thing though, I could just send this right here to my sister with the game in it, and that would be an amazing birthday present. But I have another idea.
To make this gift really one of a kind though, I'll not just be customizing the Game Boy game, which I'm so glad worked out, but also the actual Game Boy itself.
Let's do this.
By this point, you have probably figured out that my sister loves puppies, which is also the design I went for on the Game Boy. Once I was satisfied with the design, I ordered it, and while waiting for it to arrive, I also designed a box and sticker for the cartridge.
But here's the thing though, over the last couple days, I tried to call a couple local companies to help me print one custom box and sticker. And the problem was that usually the minimum order would be 100, and I don't need 100, I only need one. So... I guess time to do some arts and crafts.
I went down to my local Office Depot and printed out the box and stickers. I then started on the stickers first. I cut them out, put tape on top just to make it look a little bit shiny, and put them onto blank label stickers, which I then cut out again and put it onto the cartridge itself.
Sticker done, moving on to the box.
Now the box was a little bit more tricky, not just because there were more edges to cut out, but because the thin paper was not enough to make a box. So I had to take the cutout box and paste it onto thicker cardstock paper, which I once again also cut out. The next step was to fold in all the edges and tape all the stuff together that needed to be taped together. And finally, the box was done. Alright, yeah, I also made something to hold the game so I can slide it right into the box, and here you have it.
It actually really looks like an official game now. Now for the finishing touch, I just need the Game Boy shell to arrive. They look amazing!
The Game Boy kit came with, of course, the shell, a new screen as well as new buttons, and also the screwdrivers.
I can't wait, let's do this!
So first things first, I took apart the old Game Boy by unscrewing and releasing the screen. Following that, I took the new Game Boy shell, placed all the buttons inside as well as the screen and the hardware. All that was left to do at the end was to close it up and put in all the screws again. Now the question at this point is, does it still work?
Now for the moment of truth. Let's go! Alright, all that's left to do is to pack it up and send it to my sister. I really hope she likes it.
While packing it all up though, I noticed something interesting. You see, the original Game Boy has a sticker on the back, which mine doesn't. So to make it look as realistic as possible, I went ahead and designed another sticker, this time using a childhood photo of my sister's just to bring back the nostalgia factor. I cut it out, taped it on, and it was good to go. Before I send it off across the ocean to Europe, where my sister lives, here's what the final game and Game Boy looked like. Alright, I have it all packed up, ready to send. Let's see how she reacts.
Hey sis. First of all, happy birthday. I am so proud of you for the woman you have become. And more than that, for the amazing mom you are. As for the gift, I hope you like it. Since you are turning 30, it only makes sense to reflect a little on the past. So I thought a throwback would be fun with not only a customized Game Boy Color, but also a custom game of your life and different memories in your life that you can relive and play. I hope you have fun with it. It took me over a month to get everything together and program the same. Enjoy it. Love you, your big bro. Oh. Put Dad's picture in the...
Oh.
No, it's a customized game. Thank you. You like mommy's gift? Say thank you, Uncle Alex.
If you couldn't tell, my sister loved it. Honestly, it has been one of the most satisfying videos that I've ever made, and I hope you had as much fun watching it as I had making it. If you enjoyed it, make sure to press that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do that. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love ya!